Good morning, Quasar Markets Live. Howard Hondo Greenberg here, your host of Quasar Markets Live. I have a little bit of a look at the market here this morning we're going to do, and then I am going to show you a little bit about how to set up your screen, excuse me, with Quasar Markets, how easy it is to do. So let's take a little bit of a look here. I have Trading View up, see what's going on in the market today so far. SPY is down about 0.38%. You can see here on the hourly chart. Been getting hit here pretty much since open. We're trading pretty much at the lows of the day. NASDAQ, same things. We are at the lows of the day so far. We'll say we need to stay above 468.70 here if we that area right there is a pretty important support zone. Otherwise, we could come down and fill this gap. So we got that going on the QQQs. Leading into that, NVIDIA, we know we have their earnings later today. And we can see that's dropped down to 124.83. It was just trading at lows of the day. And again, another one where we're getting close to sort of the key support for the last couple of days. Right in this 123.32 area. A break below that would be really bearish here on NVIDIA as we lead into tech earnings today. Tesla, another one that's been slipping. We can see here down lows of the day. Snowflake, same thing. CrowdStrike, we know they report later today. Again, we're seeing most of these tech stocks at lows of the day. Apple, pretty much lows of the day. Dow Jones is holding up, though. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is slightly positive here at about 41,274 or so. So that is holding up. And another thing we've seen is a jump in the VIX today as volatility is picking up. Part of that, of course, would be in response or in relation to NVIDIA's earnings later today. Some of the reporters from yesterday, Nordstrom's reported after hours today, has seen a nice 6% move up. Was as high as 23.23 earlier, now back down about 22.43. And what we've seen here is pretty much a return after its big pump up. It's retraced about half of that. That's pretty similar to see one of those Fibonacci levels you tend to see around. PVH, Calvin Klein, Tommy Hilfiger, again down about 6.58%, but it is trading towards the higher side of the daily chart so far. Take a look at Kohl's, another one that had strong gain. So retail it's the stories of the haves and the have-nots. You know, we've seen Nordstrom's, we've seen Kohl's, both strong earnings, showed some strong outlooks for the following quarters. Ones that didn't, Foot Locker, PVH, getting hit pretty hard here. Smucker's trying to recover a little bit, and again, another one that gapped way down on bad guidance overnight. They lowered their yearly guidance. PDD, the parent company of Temu, as we said, Chinese e-commerce struggling. I know Baidu, I believe, was struggling also. SMCI continues to drop down. Hit lows of 405 a little earlier here in the last hour. Now back up almost at 412. Okay, so let's start to get into the platform here. I'm going to pull up Quasar Markets, and we're going to start to walk through how you go to set up your lovely setup. I'm going to show you first what mine looks like right now, and then we're going to start with a blank screen and sort of look from there. So here on my setup that you see on your screen at the top, I have a ticker coming from TradingView. It hits Bitcoin, Ethereum, the S&P, the top 100, little key Forex data with Euro to USD. It's got the major stuff there. Below that, I like to see my heat maps. I keep 3 heat maps up here at all times. I have my crypto one to the left. Again, what's great about this is I don't have to venture off of this one screen. I can use this in one screen, leave the rest of my screens available to pick and choose what I want to see, but I can get a lot of functionality out of this one screen. I can look and say, hey, what's up today? Why is this one green? Quickly pull it up, see it's Tonecoin, which is Telegram, the messaging app. This is their token. Jumped up. One of the few things that's up. It is up on fundamental news. The founder, Pavel Durov, had been arrested, and it looks like there isn't been any more major feedback from that, so we've sort of stabilized here. It was up as high as almost $6 recently before dropping down, but you're able to just to click right in there if you want to see, what's going on with Ripple. I just click on XRP, and I'm pulled right up into their overview and trading news. Can look right at their, the information. I can take a look at trading ideas that other members of the TradingView family has on that. It pulls up right again, right from the same screen. I can take a look at the news in relation to Ripple. Ideas, again, are what other traders that use the platform and publish their own notes, what are they saying? I can take a look at the technical indicators, some oscillators, and see what's going on there. And it tells me if those are neutral. Are they showing a buy signal? Are they showing a sell signal? So really some great information available from TradingView, available directly out of the Quasar Markets app. And again, I can do that on any stock. So now I say, okay, I see one of the ETFs is actually at a positive today. What is that? That's the Vanguard Funds PLC. It's up about 5.56%. And I'm able to see that that's an index that is a benchmark of U.S. stock market performance composed of stocks of large U.S. companies. Shows you exactly what the breakdown of the fund is here. You can see that most of the corporations are here in the U.S. In fact, all of them are either in the U.S. and Canada. It shows how their exposures to electronic and technology services, finance, health technology, retail trade, consumer non-durables, and down the list. It shows that they are 100% made up of stocks, so no bonds or anything else in this, no currencies. So again, you're able to get a lot of information. Able to look again at what makes up that ETF right from the platform. Able to look to see if there's any news. You don't usually see a lot of news on ETFs like that. And again, I can take a look at the oscillators and see whether it's looking like a good buy or a bad buy right now. On the daily chart, showing a lot of strong buy technicals. So great functionality, again, built right into your heat map, able to do that. Able to do that with individual stocks also, so I can take a look and say, I don't know what's up in finance, but I see something's up here. Let's take a look. Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo happens to be up 1.9% today. Again, easy for me to pull it up, get an overview of what's going on, break down their financials, what is people that are looking at, technical analysis, what are people saying there, able to take a look at what's going on in the news. So really, again, a great functionality that I love out of the Quasar Market app is the ability just to keep so many things in one spot that I can then look at and go to. Again, same thing. If we go a little further down, I have TradingView's chart set up next. And again, the great functionality within TradingView in this module is if I want to pop that out, I simply can pop that right out to a full screen and be able to start to play around with it from there. I then have Trading Central set up. Trading Central, really nice trading tools for investors. It has some screeners, has built-in portfolio ideas that you can then use and go around from. I keep US market movers next. I'm able to quickly see what are the big gainers on the day, what are the decliners on the day, where's the volume trade, and you can see NVIDIA are already 115 million shares. If I'm not mistaken, that usually trades in the 380 million range. So you can see already excess volume coming in. SMCI, which we know got hit by Hindenburg report and has dropped down tremendously, about 25%. That has a lot, of course, and you can continue to take a look from there. I then have a Forex heat map in front of me so I can see what's going on, the US euro, yen, pound, Swiss franc, Canadian dollar, Aussie dollar. I also have a screener up. This one's set to a Forex screener right now, but again, whatever I wanted to take a look at here, I can take a look at. Next, I have my news set up. I have Quasar News, QIN News set up first. Again, able to see a lot of great information right here in front of me without having to go off the screen. I can stay on this screen. If I want to find out what they're saying here, I can take a look. Touchdown Explanation has signed a letter of intent with Andrew Biles, and I can take a look there to see what that's all about. Quarterly reports you can find in here, some transcript of it, so that's great. Over here I have Saturn and Pluto news. Again, great news centers, stations within the site. I don't have to go anywhere if I want to read about it. You know, I can take a look. John Wood Group has signed separate sales agreements for the disposal of 2 of their businesses. And then if I want to even go further from that, I can read the actual news release or articles. Again, just clicking through this one screen. I don't have to leave it all. That's what I can't stress enough. That's what makes it so great. Next, I have pulled up for myself option chains. I know that Steve put this together with Scott Bauer from Prosper Trading, and just an amazing job. If we want to take a look at what's going on, let's take a look at NVIDIA here. I want to look at the expiries. I can take a look right here on what's going on. You know, it's trading at 123 or so right now. And you can just see the volume on some of these marks on the 125 call, 128 call, 130 call, 132. So you can see where the volume is. Actually see a pretty big number at 150. A lot of calls at 150 over 25,000 contracts. That seems to be the biggest YOLO play to the north at that 150 spot. I can also look on the put side. See where the volume is. You can actually see there's volume at the 90 strike. That's surprising. And again, people could be running some pretty um, complicated option chains from there, where it's a a put spread, or broken wing butterfly or something. Those are the reasons that some of those are. You can take a look at trade halts. I have that set up here. So again, it's just really nice to be able to come through and have this functionality right here in front of you. Another really nice product is the market overviews. Again, if you see something on the charts, I'll sometimes use that as I'm looking through this market maker up here, U.S. market movers rather, and I see something I'm not sure what it is. What is agri? I don't know what agri is. So now I go down. I just type in agri. And see that that's AgriForce. You can find out information from there. From there, we have Trade Pulse, real-time flows. I have Investopedia in mind, so if I want to look up a term, if I see something I'm not sure about, what is the day sales outstanding mean? I can simply hit it and quickly get a definition of what it is. So that's, again, very helpful. The little sports module built in. I always take a look and see what's going on in the Major League Baseball for tonight. Not all that interested in betting it, but I just like to see who's playing, what time, all that. Gives me all that right here in front of myself. Coinalyze, great for analyzing crypto market futures and perpetual futures especially. You got what's coming for upcoming events. And last but not least, I actually have Quasar's AI module at the bottom. So, again, very complex what you can put together. You can make your own screen as simple as you want or as difficult as you want. So I'm going to walk you through that right here. I've put together pretty much a blank screen. The only thing I put in there was today's weather. And I thought we could build a little bit from there. What you'll see too is down the bottom I have a taskbar that gives me easy access to both what this is called my widgets, and then the individual modules themselves broken out by the categories. But for this case, we're going to be sitting in the widget area. And again, I've already just entered the weather in, so there was something in here. So if I want to go ahead and start to put together and populate my screen, I simply hit the little button here that looks like a pencil on a piece of paper, and it brings it up. When I want to add a new module or widget, I hit the little button that says Add Widget. I think this one, let's focus a little bit on news. Let's say you just wanted to put together what Quasar has available for you for news. So I come in, I hit the Add Widget button, and now I start to put together the different news feeds that are available. So I'm going to start with the Quasar institutional news. Populates right there. Add in the next one. I want the premium news from Quasar. They are actually, those are pretty much the same. No reason to have both of those. Okay, so now I want to add in Twitter news, one that I definitely look at a lot. From there, I'm going to add Pluto and Saturn, which are two other services we use here. From there, I'm going to add in a few other news services that we do have. I know if I go to Trading View, they have their news. And maybe I want Trading Central also in there, which shows us social media mentions and news mentions of articles. So now I sort of have everything I wanted here. I'm going to save it. And as you can see, I got my Trading Central. I got my news from TradingView. I've got my Saturn news. I have Pluto news. I have Twitter news. And then I have Quasar's curated news. All in one spot. Again, I don't have to have this on 9 different screens. I'm able to pull in if I want to use them. So again, we know Nordstrom's over here had positive talk yesterday. So let's take a look. They had 106 mentions across publications in the last 24 hours. 80% of those were positive in the news. And it shows you how they were actually discussed. Their earning announcement was, for a majority of it, of course, earnings above expectation, revenue increase, earnings positive. So you get a pretty good judge of it right from there. They even have a sentiment tracker that you can take a look at. They're at 72 out of 100, which is pretty high. So high confidence right now in it. Looks solid. And again, if I want to go right through, article on NVIDIA from TradingView, right into it, right into the news, you know? So really makes life a lot easier. I don't have 17 different programs opened. I have Quasar curating all that information for me, putting it to me in a simple, easy, understandable way to look at it, and allows me to go through and do that. So, you know, that one would be a news. Let's say I want to make another one. And on this one, I really want it to be more my TA, my technical analysis screens. Things I'm going to use when I'm making my decisions, maybe. And I'm going to go through. First thing I'm going to add to that is TradingView's chart. So from there, I have my chart. I tend to like it in about a half screen view, so I can slide it right over to about a half screen. I'm going to make it a little bit longer. I like how it looks like that. I can put it right there. Excuse me. Add my next widget, which in this case, I want to add a watch list, right? If you're going to have a chart, you probably want to have a watch list. I'm going to make it again half size so that I can place it. And what you see I did there, I just moved it a little bit to the right. Added it right in. Don't worry that it's empty right now. Once I set everything up, I can go right back in and populate that. Next, for me, things I like to have: trade halts, right? I might want to take a look at what's going on in trade halts. So I'm going to have those up with my chart and my watch list. I don't need it to be quite as big as it is right here. I'm going to go with it about this size. And again, I'm going to make it a half screener. And I'm going to add my next. I want market movers because, again, I want to see where is the volume, what are the top gainers, what are the top losers, so that I can start to look and see if there's any trade ideas I have from those. So again, I've got trade halts, I've got US market movers, I've got my TradingView chart, and I've got my watch list all in one place. Last thing I'm going to add in there is my strategy builder from Trading Central. So again, I can put this in. Now I'm going to save that. And what I'm looking at here is I have trading ideas in here for me to take a look at if I'm looking for stuff. Let's say right now I'm interested in defense with everything going on in the Middle East and in the Ukraine and Russia and the uneasiness in the China seas right now. I think defense sector might be something to take a look at. I can hit defense sector. It's going to pull up the companies that have the best fundamentals right now for that, or technicals. And then I can go from there. So I want to see what this V2X looks like. So let's take a look at that on the daily chart. And then we could start to, look at it and give it a look. And now, okay, so I see where we're at. Now I want to add it to my watch list. And I'm adding now I've got it on my watch list. So again, very easy to set up to be able to trade. Very easy to look at stuff. What I might do, now that I'm looking at it, I say, you know what, I might need something else in there. Again, all I got to do, hit the little add button. I want my screener from TradingView. So now right there, I've got my screener, followed by Trading Central, ability for me to come through and base trading ideas that have already been curated for me. I've got trading halts. If I'm trying to trade off a halt, I could be doing that. Market movers, what are the big gainers so far? What are the big decliners? Maybe I'm looking for something for a a bounce back here. So maybe this WTO. What is that? I go to WTO. I could take a look. Now that's a heck of an ugly chart. Not something I would be jumping into here, for sure. But having the ability to go through, to take a look, and to get this information right out, it just really is. It's so time saving. It's not even funny. When you look at that and say that I can just go right back through again, I have everything all at the touch of my fingers on one simple screen. So I just wanted to come through, give us a little look at that. Let's take a look at the charts here before we take our lunch break. See SPY continuing to drop down to lows of the day. So we're definitely seeing a red day so far. If it gets below that 557.70, do we see it fill back down that gap towards 555? QQQ, that's support at 468.57, holding so far, and actually 469 or so held. NVIDIA, a little bit of a bounce back, double bottom here on the hourly chart, as we can see. Does that give us an afternoon run towards earnings, or do we still see the negative run here? Some of the things on a more positive level. Nordstrom's holding its gains here. It had dropped back down to the lower 22 levels. Regaining 22.50 is nice here for that. Same thing, Kohl's. Again, after retracing, finding a little bit of legs again. So pretty much the last positive of the day to look at. Well, not last positive, but the ones we were looking at earlier. Box, the cloud storage, cloud provider, after raising their guidance for end of year, got a nice bump up, gapped up overnight. It is still giving back that, though. Again, sort of at the lows of the since open. Okay, well, thank you for joining me here on Quasar Markets Live. Please come back at 1 o'clock, and we will be showing my interview with Scott Bauer from Prospect Trading Academy on a trader's mindset, what that means, and how to play this market right now, that you can't always be a perma bull, that you need to play with the hand in front of you. Thanks again.